We will discuss hormones today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So basically, we know like hormones are chemical messengers which are coming from endocrine glands. So endocrine glands are nothing but ductless glands which generally pour their secretions directly into the blood. They do not have any ducts, isn't it? So these are
Hmm.
chemical messengers which will show their action away from the place where they are produced generally. Okay. Of course, we have many local hormones also which are released at the same place and they show their effect there itself. Okay. So in endocrine system, in hormones, we have like these are chemical messengers which are produced in small amounts. Okay, secreted into bloodstream and they control metabolic and biological activities. So chemically, when you just check these hormones, they can be protein hormones or steroid hormones or amino acid derivatives. Okay. So under protein hormones, we have insulin, glucagon, antidiuretic hormone, oxytocin. Under steroid hormones, we have glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, and sex hormones. And amino acid derivatives are epinephrine, norepinephrine, T3, T4, thyroxine, triiodothyronine. Okay. So mechanism of action of hormone is important, beta. Just to complete the topic, though you must be knowing, I'm just revising. See, generally from the hypothalamus we have releasing hormones. Those releasing hormones, they go and stimulate pituitary gland. From the pituitary gland we have stimulating hormones. For example, thyroid hormone releasing hormone comes from hypothalamus. It goes and stimulates anterior pituitary for the release of TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. That hormone goes and stimulates thyroid gland for the release of T3, T4. Okay, so that means the main seat where the hormones are controlled is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus to pituitary, pituitary to the next endocrine gland from where the hormones are coming. And of course, we have hormones directly coming from pituitary, which are posterior pituitary hormones. What are those? Antidiuretic hormone and oxytocin, isn't it? They are actually synthesized in hypothalamus, but they are moving from hypothalamus to posterior pituitary through hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract. Okay. So
Hmm.
basically, in biochemistry, like what are important? Of course, you should know the location. Like pituitary is the pineal gland is not so functional in human beings, and pancreas they release insulin, glucagon, and somatostatin from the islets of Langerhans. Adrenal gland from the cortex we have hormones, medulla we have hormones. Testis in male secretes testosterone, ovaries in females releases estrogen and progesterone. So we have group 1 hormones and group 2 hormones. See, group 1 hormones. So generally, what is the meaning of group 1 hormones? Because both of these hormones will be asked for your exam. Okay. See, group 1 hormones, they bind to intracellular receptors. Can you hear me, Shubhangi?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
The screen got struck suddenly, so I was wondering. Okay. So, it's moving now. See, group 1 hormones, I'll show you like actually in physiology textbook, there is one very good picture which shows us like hormones are released into blood circulation and the receptors may be present either on cell membrane or on the nuclear membrane or in the cytoplasm. We have receptors in different places. Of course, here also we have very good picture and let me go to that once. This one better. See, this is mechanism of action of steroid hormones. These are group 1 hormones, beta. So how is it working? See, suppose group 1 hormones which are released into the blood circulation, this is cell. So the hormonal receptors may be present either on cell membrane, okay, nothing but plasma membrane, or the receptors may be present in the cytoplasm. So if they are present in the cytoplasm, they form hormone receptor complex. This hormone receptor complex is going inside the nucleus. Okay, beta. Or see, Shubhangi, the receptors may be present either on cell membrane or in the cytosol or on the nuclear membrane. Finally, through hook or crook, you are finding the hormone is entering into the nucleus. The function of
Nucleus.
hormones is it is helping in protein synthesis. How is that? First thing is it helps in transcription. So we know like transcription is nothing but the formation of mRNA from DNA, isn't it? So that is transcription is taking place. After transcription, the messenger RNA has brought some information with the help of which you will see translation takes place. It leads to the formation of proteins, which gives biochemical response. So you can just imagine one hormone which you have studied thoroughly. For example, growth hormone. So it will have receptor, for example, in the on the cell membrane, and finally it is reaching the nucleus. And we know growth hormone is helping in growth mechanism. That means it helps in the synthesis of various proteins which are responsible for body growth. Isn't it? See, the bone is protein, muscle is protein, hair is protein, everything in our body, body building things are nothing but proteins. So basically hormones are helping in this protein synthesis. Okay, so that's how, that is the mechanism of action of group 1 hormones. Okay, beta. So
Yes,
group
ma'am.
1 hormones, they bind to intracellular receptors, they form receptor hormone complex. Okay, so they are lipophilic in nature. That means they are going and easily combining with lipid part of the cell membrane. We know like cell membrane is made up of lipoprotein, isn't it?
Lipoproteins.
Okay, so examples of group 1 hormones are estrogen, progesterone, glucocorticoids, and calcitriol. So similarly, we have group 2 hormones also. So see, group 2 hormones, they act by a mechanism which is called second messenger. Let us see what is this second messenger. See here. So this is again cell membrane, Shubhangi, plasma membrane or cell membrane, over which we have receptors. Okay, before I take you to this, what are the examples we have for group 2 hormones? Let us see, so that I can use the same name while discussing. See, group 2 hormones we have like adrenocorticotropic hormone, follicle stimulating, epinephrine, okay, norepinephrine and all. So what is happening is, suppose epinephrine and norepinephrine, which are adrenal medullary hormones, they are released into blood circulation. They come and bind with the receptor which is present on the cell membrane. Okay, so here we require something like ATP. Okay, so that is like instead of ATP, the energy is being utilized from GTP, which is called as GTP regulatory protein. So this GTP regulatory protein, what is it doing? It is actually converting, see, GTP regulatory protein, it is now taking the hormone from the cell membrane into the cytoplasm. The hormone has successfully entered into the cytoplasm and it has used energy, Shubhangi. Unlike the previous, group 1 has directly entered through the receptor,
Enter.
but here to enter into the cytoplasm,
It requires energy.
yeah, it utilizes GTP. So once this GTP regulatory protein is working, you will see like ATP. These are series of steps what we see, like ATP is converted to AMP, high energy phosphate. Okay, here we have adenylate cyclase is the enzyme acting. Okay, so cyclic AMP, it's also called as second messenger, which is now converted to AMP, phosphodiesterase. So whatever series of steps you are using here, all these steps you should write better and convert into the form of words. So finally you are finding that hormone has entered, it has bound to the receptor. Okay, finally you will see like the response, ultimate biochemical response is seen. Okay, so whatever C has been used here, C is, first thing is cyclic AMP, then R2 C2, these are certain things like R2 is used, C2 is used. So which is cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase A. R2s are regulatory subunits. Okay. C2, everything whatever is given here, you write better. Okay, C active catalytic of R2C2. Finally, whatever biochemical response we have seen with group 1 type of hormones, similar type of response is also seen with group 2 but with a different mechanism where you are finding GTP cyclic AMP are involved. That mechanism is nothing but second messenger mechanism which you call as
Mechanism.
group 2 hormones. Okay, the second messenger cyclic AMP. So once you learn that flowchart, automatically you will understand the sentences which have been framed here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the cyclic AMP is actually generated from ATP only with the help of this adenylate cyclase. High energy phosphate is released. From triphosphate, now it has become monophosphate. Two phosphates are liberated. Okay. So in this chapter, we try to learn group 1 and group 2 hormones thoroughly because that is the usual question which is asked. See this.
Yes, ma'am.
And also try to learn few examples which you know pretty well already from the knowledge you have gained from physiology, anatomy here and there. So group 1 hormones, few examples are given. Estrogen. We know estrogens are coming from ovary. We know like the function is it helps in the development of female secondary sexual characters and helps in the maintenance of menstrual cycle. Those two words, two sentences you can easily write. Like that, just like frame some code to remember group 1 hormones example. Like page can be used, PAGE, page. Okay, CTM or something.
Yes.
Like that for group 2 hormones also you can frame one code so that it will be easy for you to remember. Okay. The second messenger in phosphatidyl, instead of using cyclic AMP, there are certain hormones they use phosphatidyl inositol or calcium as second messenger. Only one or two examples you can remember. Okay, second messenger,
Yes, ma'am.
which is unsettled. We don't know what is acting as second messenger. Growth hormone, somatomedin, insulin like growth factor. They are still under research, which are not yet confirmed. So one or two examples you give from here also. But group 1, group 2 are only important beta.
Yes, ma'am.
So all these details you need not go through beta. This table itself is something like given in nutshell where you can elaborate and write, but individual hormone won't be asked. Okay. Try to give one reading from this table that is actually summary of entire chapter. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So individual hormones are given beta. And individual hormones won't be asked. Okay, nothing to worry.
Okay, ma'am.
Local hormones in the sense, I am just checking if local hormones are given. The hormones which are released there, like for example, we have gastrin hormone which is released in the stomach. It shows its effects in the stomach itself. They are released for, like the lifespan of those hormones is very short. Okay, they help in the regulation
Mm.
of gastric juice. But local hormones is not, it's discussed better. GIT hormone or gut hormone. Gastrin, secretin, cholecystokinin, pancreozymin. Okay, they are the hormones which are released in the gastrointestinal tract and they show their effect there itself. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so that is all about this chapter.